y'all, it's Jessica from Sloppy Swatches. Today I have a look at the Ice Desserts collection releasing on May 30th at 9 a.m. from Virago Varnish. I'll link her storefront and social media down below. These were sent to me for review and they'll retail at $8 a piece. This very well could be her last restock or new collection, so if you're interested in any of these, I definitely recommend jumping on them ASAP. So first up is Beat Ice, and this is very dark but bright pink, definitely nearing the neon side. This maybe has a touch of purple in it, bringing it maybe a little bit orchid tone, but definitely still pink. I'll go ahead and show you a comparison of some of the polishes that I have that may be similar. Here's a look at that brush shot. So here to the right, I have Beat Ice. It's very bright on camera. It's almost blowing my camera out. And to the left, I have Tsunami Mommy. So these are definitely not dupey at all, but you can tell, especially if you know how bright Tsunami Mommy is, how bright this one is. So here's a look at how it's swatched on my natural nail. Here is the first easy coat. The polishes are a little bit thicker. If you're familiar with the cream formula from Virago at all, this is very typical. It is a little bit on the thicker side, but still really easy to use and a perfect option for stamping. So here it is at just one coat. I had complete coverage, no problems at all. If you go thinner, you may need to do two, but here's a look at that completed mani before a glossy top coat. This does dry down pretty matte. I did have some lumps from some pigment, just few and far between, and they definitely smooth right out with a glossy top coat, shown here in my swatch photo underneath artificial lighting, and then once more at an angle again under that artificial lighting. So next up is Blood Orange Chill, and this is an eye-searingly bright orange. It's very kind of road traffic safety cone orange with maybe a touch of carrot in there. Again, just a nice flat cream, no shimmers or anything running throughout, but this one is definitely neon. So here's a look at that brush shot. I'll show you a comparison really quickly. I don't really have anything in my collection that really compares. Here it is to the right with Monstrous to the left. You can see that Monstrous has more red tones in there and it's definitely a little bit more toned down. So here's a look at how it's swatched on my natural nail. The first coat went on smooth and easy, a little bit thicker again. I did have some streaking with this one, so I am going to let this dry and come back in and show you what a second coat looks like. Maybe if you go in really thick, you won't have that issue. I do think the second coat is worth it. It's no problem at all. So here's a look at that second coat. If you notice there, I did have maybe a lump or two of some pigment. It's really not a big issue, but I did want to mention that it doesn't mess up application at all, especially once you add a glossy top coat. So here's a look at that completed mani at two coats before top coat. Again, this one does dry down fairly matte. This is my swatch photo underneath artificial lighting with a glossy top coat, and for sure this one is even brighter than it is in my swatch photo, so if you're looking for a super hot neon summer orange, this would be a perfect option. So next up is a Mango Madness, and if there's one thing that Virago is known for, it's for really awesome yellows. So this one is a bit of a kind of rain jacket or rubber ducky yellow. It does have some gold tones in there, even though it is incredibly bright. I'll go ahead and show you some comparisons within my collection. To the right is Mango Madness and to the left is Monstrous. These are not even close in tone. I'll also show you how it looks against Huntington to the left, so still you can tell it's a very bright yellow with gold tones and super unique. So I'll go ahead and show you how Mango Madness swatched on my natural nail. Here's a look at that first coat. I did notice some streaking with this one, but it was no problem at all. It is a little bit on the thicker side. I do recommend going nice and slow. I'm going to let this dry and come back in and show you how it looks with a second coat. So here's a look at that second coat. This just evens out any low spots or streaking that I had and brings this one completely opaque. It also helped me get the area closer to my cuticle, which you guys know I am terrible about. I'm really excited about looking forward to stamping this one. Yellow stamping polishes are kind of few and far between, and this is going to be an amazing one. So here's a look at that completed mani at two coats before glossy top coat. So again, it does dry down to a matte finish. This is my swatch photo underneath artificial lighting with a glossy top coat, and then once more at an angle again under that artificial lighting. So next up is Green Tea Frost, and this is just the perfect mint color. It is very bright on the nail while still being pretty wearable, especially for a neon. It is showing up a little more cool toned here than it is in person. I'll go ahead and show you that brush shot and show you some comparisons of Virago polishes in my collection. So to the right, I have Green Tea Frost, and then to the left, I have Rancid. So Rancid does have maybe some cooler blue tones in there. On camera, they look pretty similar, but they're actually a few shades apart in person. So I'll go ahead and show you how it looks on my natural nail at just one easy coat. Again, a nice thicker formula, but this one covered completely in just one coat. I had no issues at all with this one. So here's a look at that completed mani at one coat before a glossy top coat. So again, that same semi-matte finish. This is my swatch photo underneath artificial lighting. and then once more at an angle under that same artificial lighting. So lastly today I have Blueberry Bleak, and this is just a gorgeous true blue color. If you like Pacific blue, this is not necessarily a dupe, but it does have that same bright, beautiful tone. So here's a look at that brush shot, and I'll show you a quick comparison between another polish that I have in my collection. So to the right here is Blueberry Bleak, and then to the left I have Lifeguard Lagoon. On camera they look pretty similar. Lifeguard Lagoon is maybe a touch brighter. So I'll go ahead and show you how Blueberry Bleak swatched on my natural nail. So no surprise here at all, this one covers completely and perfectly in just one coat. Again, it did have a thicker formula, but still really easy to use, no problems or issues. I didn't have any staining with this polish either, but I did use a stain blocking base coat. So here's a look at that completed mani at just one coat before a glossy top coat. I do think that this one is my favorite, even though I love the entire collection. This is my swatch photo with a glossy top coat underneath artificial lighting, and then once more at an angle, again under that same artificial lighting. So that does wrap up my swatch and review of the Ice Desserts collection. I have no questions at all that these are going to be fabulous stampers. If you're interested, I'll definitely leave her storefront and social media down below. Don't delay on these. I do have more photos available on my blog at sloppyswatches.com, or you can also follow me on Instagram at sloppyswatches. So thanks so much for watching, guys. See you next time.